Welcome back to another battle report, folks. We're back to the desert in mid-war again. We'll go through the lists just now. It's 8th Army against Afrika Korps. So the 8th Army have got an infantry company and a tank company. The infantry company is made up of 2 platoons of infantry, 3 6-pounders with the 25-pounders in support. And the tank company is made up of 2 Grants, 2 platoons of 3 Grants, with the armoured cars in support. I'm just trying out a 2 company formation here, but I think for durability it might be better if you've got an infantry force just to have attached tank platoons, because here, imagine worst case scenario, the company commander and one of the platoons got destroyed, well, the third one's away, whereas if there was 3 platoons there supporting the infantry, the third platoon isn't going to run away if the other 2 get destroyed, and tanks die quicker than infantry. But I'll maybe try that out in full in another report. So Brian, you've got the Germans, you've got a very different kind of formation. What have you got here?
Yeah, so this one, contrast is just based on one tank formation, believe it or not. So the tank formation is based on the Panzer IIIs. So it's the HQ of 2 standard Panzer IIIs, short 5 centimetres. Then they've got 2 platoons of Panzer IIIs. These are identical in that they've got 3 short 5 centimetres and 1 75 or 7.5 centimetre. And that there is the formation. The rest are actually support. So we've got a small platoon of Panzer IVs in support.
And they're short barrel ones,
barrels,
so they can do bombardments.
Yeah, we've got the Marders as well in support, as well as 2 of the armoured scout cars. And it's an infantry platoon based on the Grenadier platoon from the Iron Cross book. Just so you can bring that in to support the platoon as well. So one formation and lots of support.
Okay folks, so we're going to set up the game, we're going to play no retreat, and we'll do a deployment and come back after that. Right folks, so we have deployed now. Brian put an objective down there. I stuck one back there with the idea being that the artillery could support it. I've got my 6-pounders in ambush. I put my minefields across here, because this was a place I could really totally block off. I could have done the other side, but I thought I'll block this off and I'll defend it with infantry. This is a really strong position between those minefields. I've got those guys on the objective, but that leaves this big gap, which means Brian has got the choice of fighting through that or flying through the gap into all my fearless veteran gunners. So we'll see how that goes now. I've got my pre-range bombardment in this canyon here. That's the only way through this. You can't wind your way through there or through there. If you want to get, you go around it or you go through it. And certain points of which you could probably get cover from the other side because it goes up and down. Brian placed his ranged in marker there. And Brian, your deployment?
Well, as you can see, I've decided not to go through the minefield and into a horde of dug-in veteran infantry. And I'm going to have to try my luck against the guns. I've got the 6-pounders in ambush, so they're going to come out probably right in front of me, but I'm going to try pushing up and just seeing if weight and numbers can get me on top of these guns quick enough before your tanks come on.
It's a very good chance of that. If I don't get reserves in quick, then we're in trouble. But one reason I picked this position is that my reserves can move up, protect the objective, but be under cover from the hills. The other side, if I deployed on the other side, any reserves, it's a great firing position, but any reserves coming on would be basically coming on with no cover whatsoever. So this could be a bit of a mad charge. We'll see what happens. We'll come back at the end of German turn 1.
So it's a bit of a tally-ho tactic here, although I'm on the German side, and basically pushed everything up this side of the table with terrain dash, just to push everything up as far as it could. I'm just having to go for the guns and see what happens. I did take one platoon up towards potentially coming through this gap here as well, but just on a normal 10-inch move for the Marders, because they were going to take a shot at the guns as well as my bombardment. So basically I was moving everything up ready for the charge, With the bombardment, I managed to get rid of two infantry stands, so for infantry, not bad shooting actually, because it's quite hard to kill digging infantry, so that wasn't bad. And 2 shots, because I only could get 2 marauders into the guns, but failed to do any damage here, so I'm really exposed, but I've really got to go for the quick win.
British turn 1, first of all, now that I've seen his deployment, these infantry here, who were just getting pasted anyway, had done a dash and then a follow me along with the company command heading over towards this objective. That objective's kind of hanging, and you can get at it a number of ways, but at least I've got a platoon of infantry nearby. For shooting, first of all, I dropped an artillery barrage. It actually goes right over the top of the second row of armoured cars, and that means he's going to have to move to shoot me. Even if he blitzes, he'll still be within, one platoon could blitz some of the tanks and be within the smoke, so he can shoot, but it'll be at a penalty. And then I've basically mugged the front armoured car platoon, but the fact is one's still left alive isn't very good. They fired, and they fired. And that was it for shooting. Now, just a wee word to you guys on, forgot to mention at the start, the minefields, they're actually mouse mats, as you can see, and they're flexible. You know, they can go across terrain a lot better than a rigid disc is. I just used a CD to cut out the shape, and I took a picture of that and sent it into a mouse mat supplier. And we also used the cut-offs, like you can see that they're dug-in markers, so if some of them have to move, for instance like in an assault, you'll know who's dug in and who's not. And they're also quite handy. I can put them on here, for instance, that can sit in it, and you're not going to get the whoops, sliding off thing going on. So that's an idea you might want to consider yourself. Anyway, the ambush is popped, and all it's done is killed a few armoured cars, so it's going to have to do a lot of killing to make itself worthwhile.
Okay, so German turn 2 is just continuing with advance down this side of the table. Managed to blitz with just the armoured cars, just that they could then get their full rate of fire moving forward.
So they move through the smoke.
Move through the smoke. So the rest then had to do a blitz and a tactical move just to get everything shot up on the hill here. Infantry coming around as well to keep support, but I've taken one platoon through the little ravine here in the middle. So in the middle here, because it's so narrow, I've only managed to get one shot off and managed to bail out an armoured car. So not very good for 4 tanks coming your way. This really depended then how many shots I could get on the guns, and I was actually very lucky with the saves. Needing 5s, and there was loads of 5 and 6s I was hitting with, but I've only managed to take out one gun but pinned them down. So hopefully they don't unpin next turn. I just should have fire back, but considering it was dug in infantry, you know, not too bad there, and the number of shots I managed to get in there and do some damage. And I just managed, because the infantry were there, I've just kept the guns doing a bombardment onto the infantry just to see if I can whittle some of them down, just something to do, because this side's too busy here to use the Panzer IVs or anything else at the moment. So just moving forward and seeing what I can kill.
Turn 2. First of all, these guys kept moving over here, company command and the remains of that platoon. These guys unpinned, the wee armoured car bailed back in. And then as far as shooting goes, it wasn't actually all that great, to be honest. I've only killed 2 tanks, you know, so it's not exactly devastating. And there's going to be a lot of fire coming back at me at full rate of fire, so it's going to get nasty soon. But the Daimler's destroyed one, Marder bailed another, and then the Panzer IVs, one of them took 2 hits and saved, one of them took a hit and failed, another one took 2 hits and got bails against it, which then failed the firepower. So there's still quite a lot of stuff left on there with nothing, unless the Marder fails to get back in, then there's no checks needed. So it's turn 3 next turn, so we'll see what Brian can do to me before the possibility of any reserves arriving.
So just continuing at the moment, I thought I'd take one turn, I know I need to keep moving, but just one turn with full rate of fire to see if I could do any damage. I did just move up slightly just to be able to take some shots through the...
You were okay there actually.
In fact, they didn't move, but the Panzer IVs did. I could sit and knock at infantry all day and go nowhere. So they've actually done a full cross-country dash, just so the next turn they can start taking bombardments into the guns here. So basically it was just to see what would happen here if I opened up a full rate of fire. Not as many hits this turn, but when I did hit, he managed to make some saves, but we've taken out another gun, so I'm hoping he runs this turn. My Marders are taking shots at the big 25 pounders, but he made the saves, and then as usual they failed the blitz move to get back into cover, so I'm a bit exposed, although I managed to kill one lone Daimler as well. So I think at the moment, if he runs, I'll be slightly happier. I've only got one set of guns to contend with, but I'm just waiting for the grants to appear now as well.
So in British turn 3, the infantry dug in, but the company command element didn't. You can see I'm using the... It's quite easy now to tell who's dug in and who's not there in that big lump. I got reserves. Oh, my 6-pounder legged it. It's fearless status, rolled a 2, obviously. But I got reserves straight away, so they were able to move up into firing position. The honey moved up as well. So when it came to the OP honey, when it came to shooting then, these guys managed to kill one with a 75 and bail one with a 75 and actually kill one with a 37mm because they were just in range off the front Panzer IIIs. The 25-pounder shot managed to get 3 hits on the 2 surviving Panzer IIIs, but Brian managed to switch the double hit onto the bailed one, which died, and the unbailed one survived. It rolled enough to save. The Daimler's fired at the Marder and hit, but it saved, and a McCarran missed. But then these guys up here also fired and managed to get a ridiculous number of hits straight to firepower on the surviving Marders, and they died. So Brian's got some manoeuvring to do, I think.
Yeah, he's ever so slightly. So it was the desperate throes of the German army. Moved my scouts up. I could only get one onto the hill to take a shot.
You tried the blitz, and then you
failed
could have
the
got...
blitz. They could have got it if I got the blitz move, but I didn't. So I got one shot off, and unfortunately didn't make any hits. I moved these tanks up through so I could get 3 shots off with my guns, and rolled 3 ones, so no damage or hits there at all. The infantry just came through just to try and move up, but it was the artillery, tried to get the artillery in, so I managed to range in, but no hits. But a disastrous turn for the Germans. I think I'll be lucky to survive the next turn. We'll see what comes my way.
So British turn 4, I think it is. Yeah, British turn 4. So there wasn't a lot of movement from me. The honey came over to join the fight. These guys stayed put. I was thinking about maybe creeping up and doing some kind of assault to try and push them off to stop the bombardment, but I'd rather just leave my 1 platoon of infantry over there safe. And as far as shooting goes then, hell of a lot of misses, to be honest. Even the Daimlers, I think, only managed to get 1 hit, which was saved. But I managed to kill, a combination of everything shooting, I only managed to kill 2 Panzer IIIs in bail 1. But if that Panzer III doesn't get back in, the survivor's on a test, but he's got the company commander with him, so I don't think they'll necessarily be going anywhere anytime soon. But next turn I will get another platoon of tanks for definite.
Yeah. Okay, so the Germans are still moving forward. I first tried a blitz move with these guys, but failed the blitz, so they had to move their 10 just to get hull down to take some shots off moving forward. The infantry moved up the rate so they could start taking shots as well, and 2 guns came off of the hill and just to get some smoke protection.
And remember, they failed the blitz too.
Failed the blitz, so they had to do a normal move to get in here as well. And just moved my 2 commanders up here because just in case I needed to get protection.
But they failed the blitz too.
Yeah, everyone's failed blitzes in this German move. They just not want to move forward. So then I had to open fire. +2 because the rate of fire weapon 1, failed my blitz moved. All sorts of penalties, but shot, done nothing. But my good old infantry, my machine guns, took out a 25-pounder. That's the only thing that's actually killed anything all game, is a poor lonely machine gunner, because these tanks failed to hit anything as well. So my tanks are dying in droves, not hitting anything. So up pops a machine gun and takes out a 25-pounder.
He always rolls 6s for NG hits. Turn 5, they only got one reserve on this turn, and they arrived here. Nothing else really moved, just stayed put and shot. These guys, you only need a 3-up, failed even with the company commander. So the shooting wasn't as effective as it could have been. These here managed to kill one, bail one. The Daimlers shot at them too and missed. The Honey fired his machine guns, got a bucket load of hits, but they were all saved. One tank got hit over here from all this fire and got bailed, and that was about it really. So the Germans are still in play, so over to them for turn 6.
There's not much for the Germans to do here, so with the HQ I decided to take a blitz move, brought them down onto here, the front tank down to here. He had a shot at the Grant, hit but failed my firepower to bail you. The second tank had moved up and managed to take a shot. No, I was out of range to take a shot across here, but then they've done a second movement to get back into cover. The two tanks in the middle here managed to take out 2 extra guns, so hopefully that gun will run at the end of this turn, although it's a support unit, it's not really going to count. They then tried to do a blitz move to get back out of range, but failed that blitz move. These guys, actually they dug into the counter shot.
No, moving rate of 5.
Moving rate of 5, right enough, they had 1 shot each, but managed to kill nothing. So these guys are dug in, these guys move back up the hill, and these guys are still a bit of exposed.
And importantly, he's slipped back a bit, but he's within 8 inches of that objective.
Just at the moment.
Because otherwise it would be game over. So I've got to shift him. I'm recording, right, okay. So, last reserves, British turn 6, Company HQ came on. They came on here, moved up with these guys. They weren't going to get shots this turn. But they moved up, they did a follow me. The shooting wasn't very successful again. I managed to just bail that one out again. These guys took a few hits, one failed at save and died. He passed his last stand and unpinned, so he's sticking about for what it's worth. But the Germans are still there. I'm going to have to go in and kill some tanks and then do some infantry.
So I just literally last rolls of the dice from the German side. Decided to stay put because there was nothing I could really manoeuvre to get good shots at. Tried artillery bombardment, still ranged in, but gun survived. Hit,
but failed your firepower again.
So he managed to survive. The two tanks here took shots at your two the Daimlers, but only managed to bail one. Because they were firing that way, these guys didn't have any chances to come through here and take any shots.
Not with a blitz anyway.
Not with a blitz move. So there was just the machine guns left to try and take out the last gun, and he survived. So I think the Germans are going to slope back into the other side of the hill and lick their wounds, because this was a disastrous battle for the Germans. I think it was just too small a gap for me to try and get through.
I think it was always going to be a quick victory or a slow slog. Because charging up through there, I was either going to fail a load of saving throws and lose all my guns, or they were going to stick around, and they actually stuck around quite well. Though I wasn't surprised. You know what it's like we've played games in the past where entire armies have tried to knock out one platoon of anti-tank guns. So I was confident it was an okay tactic when my reserves been able to move on. That objective there, I knew I could rush over infantry so quick and then put an infantry platoon on there, and then it was just a question of how much damage was I going to take, or how close was it going to be. Were you going to kill those guns, get around the hill, and then a big melee around this objective with my infantry in the open and your armour cars shooting them up, but it didn't really happen that way. But the Brits lost
6 pounders only.
I think so, 6 pounder platoon. The guys managed to stick around because they're fearless, I believe, but they were making good rolls anyway. And the wee armour cars, they did great today. They actually killed a couple of marders, I think, and shot up some infantry and were a thorn in your side. But there you go. I think it was either pick your way through that minefield with not enough infantry. Maybe could have gone through the wood with infantry, with the tank supporting them. That was a possibility, but that would have been another long slog with another infantry platoon right there.
I think with the table as it was, basically a 4-foot table came into like a 8-10 inch gap to try and get through. You know, everything, big lit army had to go through that small gap. This definitely was the charge of the Light Brigade into the guns in the Valley of Death. There was too many guns there.
In this case, it was a medium brigade though.
Yeah, medium brigade. But yeah, if the Marders had managed to do just killed another thing quickly, I think I might have just made it. It was a tactic. I'm not great with tanks. I had to rush forward, and I'm more an infantry player, so apologies for those watching and thought this was a suicidal mission. It was.
Anyway, thanks for watching, folks, and stay tuned for some more battle reports. We'll see what we're going to do next. The new German book's out soon.
For late war, yep. So I think we'll have a late war game, and I'm going infantry, digging in.
Well, that's it. I was going to say, actually, you've got to get your Americans. So get your Americans and dig in, because I've only got late war. For the Normandy, I've only got late war Germans. So we'll see if we can get a late war game next. Right, thanks for watching again, folks.